For Alexey Navalny, the Kremlin critic who died last year in the Arctic prison, have been found guilty by the Russian court of belonging to an extremist group and jailed for several years. Igor Sergunin, Alexei Lipster, and Vadim Kobzev were tried behind closed doors in Petushki, east of Moscow, and sentenced respectively to 3.5 and 5.5 years. Prosecutor accused the lawyers of using their status to pass letters written by Navalny during his time in prison to his associates, allowing him to continue to head an extremist organization, according to the independent Russian newspaper Novaya Gazeta. Navalny died suddenly in February last year while serving a 19-year sentence on extremism charges he denied. The Russian prison service said Navalny had felt unwell after a walk, and the Kremlin denied involvement in the death. But many Western countries and Navalny's ally pinned the blame on the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Human rights groups say the sentencing of Navalny's associates show that Kremlin is continuing to crack down on opposition to Putin's rule and his war in Ukraine. By targeting lawyers for merely doing their job, Russian authorities are dismantling what remains of the right to legal defense and abusing what is the criminal justice system only in name. Amnesty International said in a statement, the group said the sentencing was a shameful attempt to silence those who dared to defend Navalny and called for the lawyer's unconditional release. The lawyers were first arrested in October 2023 on charges of participating in an extremist organization, which Amnesty said was an arbitrary designation the Kremlin applied to Navalny's anti-corruption foundation. They join a string of Russians associated with Navalny that have been pursued by prosecutors since the opposition leader's death. Last April, two Russian journalists, Konstantin Gabov and Sergei Karelin, were accused of producing content for Navalny's YouTube channel, which publishes videos investigating corruption in the Kremlin that have amassed millions of views. Yulia Navalnaya, the Navalny's widow, said Friday that the lawyers are political prisoners who must be released immediately. Navalny, Putin's most formidable opponent, was imprisoned upon the return to Russia in 2022. He arrived from Germany, where he had received treatment after being poisoned with Novichok, a Soviet-era nerve agent. A joint investigation by CNN and the group Bellingcat implicated the Russian security service in Navalny's poisoning. Navalny died just over a month before Putin was re-elected as president in